If you've been in business for long enough, you've probably heard that the money is in the follow-up. But have you ever gone to follow up and you just can't think of a way to not sound pushy, or you just don't know what to say at all? It happens, trust me. I've been in business for longer than I've been an adult. Last year, I've helped my contracting and restaurant clients earn over $500,000 of extra profits. And we've also been nominated as the best of the springs for our industry. I'm Marcos, I'm the CEO of Woop Environmental. I'm gonna tell you how to follow up without sounding pushy and what to say when you just have no idea what to say or what to do in those situations. Okay, one quick note before we get into the video. This video is specific for contractors. So if you're not a contractor, you're probably not gonna get much out of this video because I'm gonna be referencing, hey, follow up at this time after you send a quote or this. So it might not be helpful if you're not in contracting. But if you are in contracting, this is exactly for you. I'm gonna be going over what works with our clients and what we've seen is the best way to follow up. Okay, the first thing that you need to do when following up is you need to add value each time you follow up. Now, how do you add value, right? Like I'm sending them a text, I'm giving them a call, I'm sending them an email. How do I give value in that? Well, figure out how do you bring that person closer to solving their issue? A way that you can bring them closer to fixing the original problem they called you for is the way to add value. So figure out how you can do that with every follow-up. And if you can't add value, that's why it sounds pushy, because you have no value to add. So maybe it's not worthwhile to follow up in that moment. So when should you follow up? Now, here's the thing. Picture someone that you get along with. You're not like best friends or anything, but you're friends, right? Try texting them a question about something technical at 3 a.m. It's really difficult to not sound weird, right? Or just send a typical text that you would send them throughout the day, but try to do that at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. It's really difficult to not seem weird. Now, if you sent that text at 11 a.m. on a Saturday, it might not be weird. And it's the same thing with follow-ups. You might feel like you have nothing to say and that you are being pushy because you're talking to them at the wrong time. So here's the right time to follow up with your clients. Number one is the night after or the morning after sending out a quote. And after that, follow up another 2 to 3 times. Now, the timeline of those 2 to 3 follow-ups varies depending on your business. If you're coming in to do a job that needs to be taken care of quickly because they don't have power, they don't have heat, they don't have water, that can happen in a much shorter amount of time. But if it's something where it's like, hey, look, we're changing out the floors to make them look nicer, or hey, we're just changing the paint to make it look nicer, you can stretch it out over a little bit farther. But here's the thing, you following up is to make sure that you fix the issue your client has. So that's what you're doing with follow-up. You are doing them a service. Think of it, I'm doing them a service. So by bringing them closer to fixing their issue, I add value. And that's what you need to do. So figure out what timeline makes sense for the exact thing you do. If it's something immediate, follow up in a much more condensed timeline. And you want to do about 2 to 3 follow-ups. Anything more than that really starts to get pushy, really starts to get annoying for them. So keep it at that, and always a good idea to do the night or the morning after you send out that first quote. Finally, and this is by far the best way to improve your follow-ups, is figure out what works. If you ever follow up with someone and you realize, wow, that was good, I'm proud of that follow-up, take note of what the context around that follow-up is. Figure out, when did you send that follow-up? What had you conversed about before? What did it look like before you sent that follow-up? Try to get as much information around why that follow-up was good so that you can replicate it over and over and over again. The key is to do enough follow-up to figure out what works, and then only do what you've already figured out that works. So those are 3 things you can do to make your follow-up sound less pushy and make your follow-ups more effective. Now, here's the thing. You need to follow up. If you're not following up, this video is completely useless. So make sure you do so, but now you know how to do it in a good way, so there's no excuse for you to not follow up with clients and leads. I'm Marcos, CEO of Woop Environmental. Thank you for watching the video, and I will ask for you to do one thing, and that is to have a good rest of your day. Thank you.